Okay, so this is my second video on this huge project of a wedding collage I got from a new client. This is the end product. It's going to be an impression of a collage of all the photos at this couple's lovely wedding. And it's going to be a huge venture for me. My first time actually doing figures or people. In my first video that I did, the sound didn't come out quite well. You have to turn it all the way up in order to hear me, and even then you can't hear me. But hopefully this time you'll be able to hear me. And I'm going to start by tweaking what we did last time. Looking at a close-up of the groom that we did. This is what he's supposed to look like. And I think I need to work a little bit on his teeth. I didn't give him teeth, and make him look like he's got an open smile. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add some white here. Keep doing some small tweaks and hope for some happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say, to make him look like he has a wide open smile, like he's a happy groom. Looks like he was pretty happy. Just adding a little bit of red to his lips. Didn't quite show. Because my paint's a little dry because it's been a couple days. I had an art show yesterday, so I've been working on that, and it's been a couple days since I was able to work on this project. And my deadline is 2 months, but I'm hoping I'll get this done within 1 month. It's a huge project, but I'm enjoying it very much. And of course, we got too much red there, so I'm going to create some more skin color. Skin color is pretty easy, just a light yellow or yellow ochre, white, and a little bit of red. And you'll notice that the more red you add to this mixture will get a skin tone color that matches your subject in your picture. And you just try to paint what you see, and keep tweaking it, and have patience. They say patience is a virtue. It really is. It's not easy, but when you really like to paint, it's not that hard. And I actually do want to lighten up the entire tone, the entire skin color of this, because it did come out too dark the first time around. It doesn't have to be exact. It's an impression that I'm trying to make. The client just wants an impression, which takes the stress off of me. Trying to get it perfect. So I don't have to get too carried away with details, but I do want it to look like him. Get an impression of his likeness, at least. So trying to get his smile lines back in there. Just looking at the picture and painting the colors where I see them on the picture, and this will come alive. I'm going to widen the teeth area with some white, just dabbing it in there. And I still want to make him have more lip impression. Didn't quite get it, so I'm using my skin tone color and adding red. Instead of actually adding red to the picture, I'm just going to use more of a reddish skin tone color. So that's the light yellow, the white, and a little bit of red until I get a satisfying tone for his lips. And I'm just flattening my brush and going above and below the teeth, which I think I got too much red on his teeth, so I'm going to go back over it with white. And that's the beauty of oil painting. Nothing's a mistake. Nothing's a mistake. You can just fix it. Go back and fix it. Going back in with the rosy skin tone color. Just gonna put a thin line. It's not quite there. So I'm just gonna work at it a little bit more here. And I have to remember not to get carried away with too much detail, as this is just an Impressionist painting. I see a little bit more dark here at the very corner of his mouth where he's smiling. So I'm putting the dark brown color there. It's looking a little bit more like what I want it to look like with those creases at the corners of his mouth. I think I just need to distinguish his teeth a little more. And I might call that good. For today, at least. On his face. And now I'm going to work on his suit. And I can use a little bit of a bigger brush here. Put some more navy or Prussian. I'm using Prussian blue. And my colors, my oil paints are water mixable, which I like much better than using the harsh chemicals. Water's much easier. Just using the navy blue because, as you can see in the picture, his suit is a navy blue with some lighter highlights. So I'm just going in there. My brush is a little dry from not using it the other day, but it'll work out of that the more I use it today. And the direction that you paint, use your strokes, adds to the realistic look of this, and it even gives a good impression because Impressionists usually, you can tell where they put their brush strokes, which makes the painting more interesting. It's more of a lighter color. I'm going to add some of a lighter color to that where I see the highlights of his suit. Oops, a little too much white there. Never fear, you can't make a mistake. Everything can be fixed. I can distinguish this pocket in a minute with some outlines in a dark blue color. And I'm fixing where I accidentally put too much white and adding some like wrinkly looking strokes with using the different colors. To make his suit look like it's on him and forming to his body. And I'm just adding a little bit more dark blue shadows where the creases, the wrinkles lead to this button right there on his suit. And I'm going to make his shirt look whiter. When you want something to look really crisp white, you undertone it with a light blue first, and you let that dry, that layer dry, and then you go over it again with white, and you'll find that that makes a nice bright white. Usually, today, it's not working quite like that. I think I have to clean up my white here. Maybe put some nice new white on my palette. So I'm working with fresh white paint and not paint that has blue in it. It's a little better. I'm not quite satisfied with it, but it's all right. I'm going to add some skin tone to his hand. That's light yellow and white and a little bit of red. And I'm kind of using a curved stroke here to give an impression of the way his hand is positioned. Make it look 3D. Make it look like a hand. And I really should be using my maul stick, so I'm not weighting down the canvas with my hand. Alright, so now I'm going to add some shadows with dark brown. Just to outline. His face here. Helps the image to pop, in my opinion. It's your painting, you're the artist too. You can make these decisions as you go. Some people would outline it even thicker than me. He has a 5 o'clock shadow I'm trying to impress here. And for the suit, I'm going to use the dark blue to outline. You just add a little water to your paint and it goes on smoother like butter. Right here are his pants. Maybe just a little hint of his shirt right in here. So I'll go in there with white and impress that in there. Again, you just don't be afraid, just give it a try. A lot of people shy away from figures of people to paint, but all it takes is patience, because you just keep going back in and fixing things and tweaking them until happy accidents occur and you're able to say, hey, that is an impression of the person. Doesn't look too far from the actual picture of him. And there's the impression of the button. The impression of the button, but can't really see the button anyway. In the picture, you see this button down here, but he only has the top button buttoned. And just putting the shadows where I see the wrinkles in his suit jacket. To make it look more interesting. And I should add a little bit of white in there as well, because there's also highlights in these shadows. That looks pretty good. I just want to put some black outline where his shirt collar is. And as all artists know, black is not a color. I create black with crimson, red, and a viridian green. It makes it more interesting than just black. So I just do a very thin outline of where the shirt collar is. And copy what you see on the picture to make it look more real. And that came out too red, so I'm adding a little more green. I have to put some more viridian green on my palette. There we go. It's looking more black now. looks too green, so I'm going to add a little more red. Make that look black. What I did for his shadows on his face, just to kind of tweak that a little bit. And I'm going to find a dry brush just to blend that in. Add a little more skin color there. I'm going to have to go back and then fix that. Just going to dab it with this. That helps sometimes. Be able to start over. Just be patient and keep on trying until you get it. Just going to try those shadows again. Very lightly here. And I'm going to lighten that down with a little bit more skin tone. I'm just playing around with this until I get a good result that I'm satisfied with. Lost his teeth again in the process here, but I'll put them back in. I'll just put them back in. I might leave this face to be finished tomorrow and work on this hand here. Kind of count 5 fingers, 4 fingers and a thumb. Kind of give them a curve here with some little shadows. And his hand is more of a rosier tone, so I'm going to go over that again with the rosier tone. And just looking for an impression, not the exact. To get this thumb here, it's important to follow where you see the shadows on his hand. Make those darker. And follow the same curve. As you see in the picture. Adding the shadow where the knuckle is in the picture helps too. Have to add some more of the dividing line here between one side of his button to the other of his suit by adding some shadows. And we're almost done. think we're pretty much done. Just got to add the little white piece of the shirt down there by the pants. Just dabbing so that I don't get too much white in there. All right, I think we're good with him. And that is him. So I think we're pretty close. I think that's a good impression. Okay, I think that's the end of this video. And you'll see me on the next video when I start on the bride in that little section of this huge collage that I'm doing. Thank you for watching. I hope you like and favorite this channel so you can watch my journey as I finish this huge collage of people. And I've never done people before like this. So it's a pretty scary adventure, but because it's for a real client, that's why it's scary, but it's fun. It's a good learning experience, and I thought I'd share it. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.